2024, those amendments that were made have been passed by members of the National Assembly, that is, members of Parliament. So we continue monitoring this particular situation. As you can see there, youth who have turned out in large numbers. You can see that lorry that has been set on fire just at the bottom end of your screen, at the top end of your screen there, just next to the KT News logo. You can see there police lorry that has been set on fire, as well as you can see that protesters are advancing, towards the main gate of Parliament buildings, trying to access the Parliament buildings. Remember, 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 allied members of Parliament earlier of this country. As you can see, there are live pictures in Nairobi CBD. As you can see, protesters slowly making their way towards a Parliament building. If I'm not wrong, that should be that particular street. So slowly inching closer to Parliament buildings, where they want to ensure that their voice is being heard and their voice is being listened to by members of the Parliament. As you can see there, they're using a cart of some sort to just protect themselves. Even as they inch closer, you can equally see just a tear gas canister has just been lobbed towards them, trying to disperse. Clouds of tear gas has been witnessed in Nairobi. A few minutes ago, we equally saw some explosion of some sort, and we're trying to get our reporters who are on the ground to try and let us know what exactly is happening. But earlier on, at around 1 p.m. we saw 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 leaders, call out and speak to members of the press as well as members of the public, and they were saying that they do not want any amendments and they have rejected the bill in totality. Remember, 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 had equally some concerns, that is 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 allied members of Parliament, and they were saying some of the concerns that they had taken up with Parliament earlier on was that the 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 coalition had unanimously rejected the contentious financial bill, then requested its members to submit amendments to the bill, which has equally been withdrawn at this particular moment. And one of the amendments that 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 wanted is the repeal of the 10% of clinkers used to make cement, saying it will be a tool of stagnation. They also wanted the export promotion tax and the increase of the fuel levy by 9 shillings per litre dropped from the bill as part of its bare minimum demands. But this was before, as I had mentioned, they completely withdrew their amendments, and they are siding with members of the public, particularly the Generation Z, and saying that the Finance Bill 2024 should be rejected in totality. As I was informing you earlier, we did speak to one of our political affairs reporter who's camped at Parliament buildings, that is Daniel Kariuki, and he was telling us, as you can see the live pictures on your screen, that security has been beefed up around that particular area surrounding the Parliament buildings. He equally mentioned that police who are in plain clothes have now joined they have joined their anti-riot police officers, that is the fellow police officers, trying to prevent protesters from getting closer to the Parliament buildings. He equally did mention that 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 allied members of Parliament are waiting for the protesters. We saw them outside one of the Parliament gates, and what they were telling the members, that is the police, they were telling them that, you know what, you should let the members of public come in and bring their petitions. They should be allowed to bring their petitions to Parliament. But we've equally heard from, the Speaker, that is the National Assembly Speaker, 𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒉𝒕 Moses, who just adjourned the House until 3:30, where they will be discussing tomorrow's issues. Well, that is the situation on the ground. We continue monitoring this particular situation. As you can see, there are members of the public in huge numbers on that Parliament street, meaning they're inching closer to the Parliament buildings. So let's just listen in to what exactly is happening there.
Emmanuel. side nyingine wanaeka kuna power na Wavamia hapo. Side nyingine.
Pale juu.
Wanakuwa wengi.
Parliament buildings, they're in the vicinity of Parliament. As you can see there, they're jumping walls. So that is the situation here in Nairobi. Tear gas being lobbed to disperse them, but it seems they have gotten the upper hand, and there they are making their way towards, Parliament. And they're trying to ensure that that particular finance bill 2024 is rejected. Earlier on, we saw them chanting, reject finance bill 2024. We equally saw them chanting that the government of the day should go, a government that is led by President William Ruto. And just remember that these protests are not only in Kenya, not only in Nairobi. We've seen different, places like Texas, Kenyans who were joining us from the US, UK, joining in the protest. So let's just listen in to what is happening here in Parliament in Nairobi.
Kama ungekuwa na mapeo huko ndani sasa hivi. Ameingia.